Siobhan. I'm one of the Tranquil Space teachers, and we're going to be talking today about April's asana of the month, which is Salambasaravangāsana, shoulder stand. So this pose is one of the inversions, and inversions, of course, are good about reversing the blood flow, kind of help getting blood out of our feet and legs, as we're usually upright, and getting that kind of flowing out, as well as they help drain out the legs, okay? And then the pose is called the queen of all asanas. And it's great for also calming the nervous system. So it's also a pose that's actually really great to do right before you go to bed, because it helps calm the nervous system, reverses that blood flow, and kind of helps the body cool off, because it is also a cooling asana. So it's a pose that, as a teacher, I highly recommend people use a blanket, 1, 2, even 3, really great. It's one of the poses that actually puts the neck, unfortunately, in its most vulnerable position. So it is a pose that you want to practice carefully and very mindfully. If you have any neck issues, as in bulging discs, any injuries to your discs in your cervical spine, this is not a pose for you to practice. It's much better for you to do something like legs up the wall, which doesn't put the neck in any compromised position. So I'm going to start by showing how you set yourself up for shoulder stand. And you want a blanket. As I said, I like to practice with a blanket, and I encourage you to do so as well. You put the blanket down so that when you lie back, it's underneath your shoulders, kind of like a cape, but your head is off of the blanket. Because in the pose, once you're in it, you want to make sure your weight is in your shoulders, not the back of the head. Hence the name shoulder stand. So we're going to lie back, and you want to make sure the blanket is there underneath your shoulders. So once again, your head is off. And you want to keep your gaze straight up towards the ceiling. So once again, we don't put the neck in any compromised position. Then you get a little momentum, and you're going to lift your legs up. Now, if you're new to the pose, bringing your hands to your hips and staying right here is just fabulous. This is exactly where you want to be. You'll get the same benefits of the pose, and you can come out at any time that you feel like you need to. Because we're not used to being upside down, so you want to make sure you honor where your body is at. Then, once you get a little more used to this pose, you can work to lengthen yourself up. As you do that, you want to bring the shoulders more underneath you and the elbows closer towards each other. Eventually, we're working to make a straight line with the body. So eventually, we're working to have feet over hips and hips over shoulders. And then you breathe here. Maybe as you breathe, the body gets adjusted again, and you can lengthen up a little bit more. So this is where you can breathe. Good to be here. 5, 10, 15 Ujjayi breaths. So staying with the breath to keep it flowing. And then you can also play a little here. You can take some variations. So I like to do a Baddha Konasana. So the bottoms of my feet together with the knees open. Once again, feet still stay over the hips, even here. Then maybe you can come to eagle legs, which can be much easier when you're upside down to take this than when you're actually balancing on your legs. Okay? And then there is variations where you can come to what's called Urdhva Padmasana, which is coming to lotus pose. Lotus pose is not in my practice, so it's not something I'll be able to demonstrate, but you work to bring your feet to your hip creases, kind of wrapping over. People kind of know that as that yoga pretzel pose, and you do that here too. So once you're ready to come out, you want to slowly let yourself come back down, coming back to the floor as easy as you can. And then pausing, and traditionally the counter for the pose is another pose called Matsyasana. And so we usually in class will instruct people to come to that pose. And then you counter, release out, and nice and cool, benefit to the inversion. Shavasana.